Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. And thanks for coming in. Thanks for the rain. So you all came in. Before we talk about privacy and Aleo, we should talk about the history of Web3 and how we have come, where we have come through all this. So Web3 started off with DigiCash. There's been hash gold, e-gold, BitGold, and they were centralized systems, not yet as advanced as Bitcoin, which led us then to Bitcoin, which was developed by Satoshi Nakamoto, which is fundamentally public. What does this mean, that it is fundamentally public? It means that all transactions on Bitcoin can be seen by everyone, which means you can grab the wallet address, put it into a wallet explorer, and you can see all the transactions past, present, of that particular wallet. After Bitcoin came Ethereum. Ethereum is a programmable blockchain, which means that you can build apps on it. However, still public, so transactions can all be seen on it, which now led us to Aleo. So let's talk a bit about Aleo. As you can see here, we have a chart with privacy and programmability. Privacy, of course, is where transactions cannot be seen by others, and you have privacy over, very self-explanatory. And you have programmability. Bitcoin is not programmable, as I said. However, Ethereum is. Now, Zcash is private. However, it is not programmable. So you cannot develop wallets, and it's not developer friendly, and you can't build on it. Which has left a gap over here, which should be filled. This is a summary of what I've just said. Early systems were decentralized. They were interoperable, which means they can't, they were interoperable, so you could build on them, and they were not private. Bitcoin is decentralized, which is great. However, you cannot build on it, and it is not privacy preserving. Ethereum, same, it is decentralized. However, you can program on Ethereum, you can build things on it. However, it is not privacy preserving. This is a very common misconception when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Some people think it is private. Oh my God. All right. No one got killed. So, privacy is the key missing piece to wider adoption. Think about this. Imagine you and your friend go out to have a drink, and your friend sends you 1 Bitcoin, less than 1 Bitcoin, I hope, or point something. It depends what you drink. I don't know what you guys are drinking, but let's say someone sends you point something of a Bitcoin. That person can see all your transactions, everyone you've ever transacted with. That is the current state of blockchain, of Bitcoin, of Ethereum. All of them are like this, which is, in my opinion, horrible. I think people have a right to privacy, and Aleo is the key to this privacy. Secure socket layer encryption is what brought the internet to being private today and to be secure. And this is what's missing today in Web3, in this decentralized space. Netscape are the people that had, the company that had pioneered this secure socket layer encryption. And they had competed against Firefox, Google Chrome. Aleo has 0 gas fees because computations are made on the device, and there is unlimited runtime. Aleo is also, this is a very common problem when it comes to blockchains. Many blockchains struggle with being scalable, which means the more people use them, the more the blockchain will struggle. Aleo is scalable because it's unique way of how it processes zero knowledge proofs. I'll get to that very shortly. This is the foundational layer. Every blockchain has its own foundational layer, SNARKOS, SNARKVM, and Leo. I will get into those a bit later as well. But basically, SNARKOS is the code kind of that deals with blocks on the blockchain. SNARKVM allows for validation of transactions, and Leo is the code that allows developers to develop. As we said, it is programmable, so you can build apps on the blockchain which are privacy preserving. This is a kind of summary of these three layers. You have the infrastructure at the bottom, what we've just seen, the platform that you can use to build apps on Aleo. You have the Aleo SDK, Slingshot, Sequencer, and any apps you want to build on top of that. I don't know what industries you're in, but they probably will, can be integrated with Aleo. For example, finance, gaming, ZPass. ZPass is very interesting. We'll get into it a bit later. Leo, this is basically a slide a bit about Leo. Leo is this code that developers can use, which can allow them to interact with zero knowledge proofs very easily, because zero knowledge proofs are these very hard computations that allow for Aleo to keep transactions private. All right. This is data management. Every blockchain has its own data management model. For example, Bitcoin uses UTXO, Ethereum uses the account model, and Aleo uses the record model. The record model is more flexible than the others. It's a bit complicated. I won't get into it. Basically, the blockchain is made up of validators, provers, and developers. The validators validate transactions. Provers will prove. They will use this hardware to make zero knowledge proofs run faster. And developers, of course, will build on Aleo using Leo. This basically just explains the system very briefly, how a developer would interact with Aleo, how provers would interact with Aleo, how validators would interact with Aleo. They're a bit, I won't get into them because I will bore you to death. So together, Aleo allows users to run zero knowledge applications on the web. Of course, they are interlinked, developers, provers, and validators. Yeah. So with Aleo, you can build whatever you'd like on Aleo. You can build zero knowledge token swaps, these decentralized exchanges like Arcane Finance. There are already projects being built on Aleo. Aleo is currently in testnet, which means that it has not yet launched and can be used with real money, but it will launch to mainnet in around a month. So, and it has been around 4 years in the making. You can build verifiable oracles, private and compliant stablecoins, zero knowledge gaming. You can build any games. There are some games already on Aleo right now. Privacy preserving machine learning, zero knowledge authentication. How can you get involved with Aleo? They currently have a grant open right now. If there are any developers amongst you, you'd like to find out about that, you can go to aleo.org/grants. They also have a very large bug bounty that you can take a look at. And attend future Crypto Hub and hackathons that we'll host here in the coming future. That's pretty much what I have to say about Aleo. If you have any questions, I'll feel free to ask.
If you have any questions about this interesting project that we have.
Thank you. First of all, I have a question regarding compliance. So if you're like a privacy blockchain, how do you handle like anti-money laundering, AML, and so on? Do you take measures on that? And second question is, how do you compare yourself to other privacy blockchains, like, for example, LF0 or like rollups, zkSNARK or something else, or yeah, Starknet?
So for the first question, it's a very frequently asked question when it comes to compliance. Many people, once they hear the word privacy, they start to think of money laundering, and which is a valid concern, of course. However, Aleo is a blockchain. It is just a system that allows for developers to build dApps on it. It's basically like the internet. You cannot ban the internet just because it can allow for certain apps that can lead to certain bad actors. But of course, Aleo can help for apps to be regulated. It is just the foundation where apps can be built upon. Of course, then it's up to those apps. For example, Avail is the app we are building on Aleo. We would have to, of course, consider compliance. Aleo would not, because it's just the system that allows apps to build on it. Just because it can allow for certain, of course, there probably will be developers that use Aleo in the wrong way. But you cannot just delete a system because it can allow certain things like that to happen. Yeah, but for Avail, which is, I was going to go to it in the, we have another last 3 slides. I won't bore you to that with slides. Avail, we are compliant. We do have a system of compliance, of course, because we are a project, and we stick to the regulations that there are. It does allow for compliance. It's in the system. So, and you asked the second question: how does it compare to other privacy-preserving blockchains? Would you like to answer that?
Yeah, so basically Aleo gives you the capability to program upon it. So it's basically like Ethereum, but privacy preserving. So there are some other projects out like rollups and stuff, but they don't have the flexibility of Aleo. And we avail code in Rust. So Rust, you know, Rust is a system approach language and system close language. So it allows the developers to have flexibility to manipulate and use the system to its full potential. And as we are handling with zero knowledge proofs, which are computationally hungry, we have the flexibility to manifest the whole system, and Aleo provides that infrastructure for the developers and the ease of access for developers. And we already, Aleo has around 500,000 users right now. They have not even been in mainnet yet. So just imagine the amount of interest that people have on zero knowledge programmability. Any questions?
Just one more thing about, so you mentioned zkSNARK and zk rollups and all these rollups. They're not private. They put zk in the name because they use zero knowledge to batch up transactions into a proof and post that on chain. But that doesn't mean that they're private. Few are private. They just use zero knowledge as a brand.
Buzzword, like a buzzword. He's the CEO of Avail Wallet, by the way. All right. More questions, maybe?
Yeah, thank you. Do you consider your blockchain being a coin itself, or if it's a blockchain, can I host other coins on it? Can I trade like Ethereum to whitewash it? Like if I just push it through your chain and sell it on the other side? How do you, I didn't understand, how would you consider Aleo as a project? Is this a coin, a chain, or what can you do?
I think you have to distinguish coins and the blockchain technology. A coin, you can have a blockchain technology. For example, we don't have a token. The crypto space has been flooded with coins, and it has gotten this bad stigma of being this one large casino. You should look past the token and look at the technology that Aleo are building, because that's the beauty of blockchain at the end of the day, not this pumping and everyone rushing to push the price of the token up. Yeah.
So are you building, basically, are you building like a transportation layer for other coins to come? I didn't really get like what How precise is Aleo?
Actually, yes, but Aleo is a blockchain like any other blockchain outside. They do have a token, they do have a tradable asset, and we can also host DeFi platforms, all sort of crypto native projects on that. And we as Avail provide a custodial wallet. So like MetaMask, but better. So we provide a better custodial wallet for this particular blockchain named Aleo. And using our wallet, you can also do the DeFi things that you are able to do in other blockchains soon. We are in testnet, Aleo is in testnet, so you can play around with testnet tokens. So if you get home, download Avail, play around with it. We have DeFi apps. You can see a small little browser thingy icon. We have DeFi apps like Arcane, ANS, it's like ENS, like Ethereum name service, like we have Aleo name service. You can download the NFT, you can see the NFT thing pop in your page. The wallet is amazing. It's alpha, but it's still amazing. Get home, use it, enjoy Aleo.
Further questions? There's a guy at the back. We'll take another 2 questions so we can move on to the last 3 slides.
Yes, you mentioned developing with your language.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, what kind of language is it like? Is it something similar to Solidity or something like more closer to Rust? What's exactly the stack?
Codes with.
So Leo is a language that is not similar to anything, to be honest, but it doesn't take a lot of learning curve. If you are aware of Rust, or if you are aware of JavaScript, if you are aware of Solidity, it's easy to learn Leo. So Leo has 2 sides, a Leo program and an Aleo build. So the blockchain has the Aleo build, which is comprehensible but pseudo comprehensible. But the Leo program is much more, developer friendly. You can get into it, you can make changes and stuff. And Leo is, I would not say weird, but a new programming language. It did not take a long time for me, and I'm not a good developer, but it did not take a long time for me to adapt to it and stuff. There are some good documentations out there for Leo and good sample projects out there for Leo that you can stumble upon. And Leo has a playground just like Ethereum has, and Solidity has Remix. Sorry for non-developers, but it's something, playground is some sort of online browser environment that you can code with. So Leo has that, so you don't need to install the Leo CLI blah 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 to execute it. They have a Leo playground. You can just Google it, it will show up. You have a Leo playground. Using that, you can code Leo smart contracts and you can have fun with.
Over there.
Yeah. How much does it cost to deploy a smart contract, and what's the price of like normal transaction on Aleo, and how would you compare to Ethereum?
So comparing to Ethereum, I'll get that first. So Aleo has a fixed price credits calculation. So it depends on the program that you are deploying, the size of the program, the inputs of the program, the outputs of the program. Basically, when you get to zero knowledge and zero knowledge programmability, it's inputs and outputs, just that. So, and the execution is in from your side. You're just going to give the proof out. You can both execute on off-chain and on-chain. When you execute off-chain, you're going to give the proof, and the provers has to validate that your proof is valid. You just give the proof. Proof is like proof 103456, something like that, and they just validate if your proof is right. That's basically zero knowledge. So to get your fees right now, it's a fixed fees. If for a particular program, so there is this program called credits.aleo. That program has transfer of tokens. So I want to transfer some Aleo from my wallet to his wallet. It is a fixed fees. The fees does not change. That's it. It's a half Aleo, which will come up to, I don't know how much the value is.
Of course, we cannot price it right now because it's in test.
Yeah.
So the token of Aleo doesn't have a monetary dollar value yet. So we can't compare it dollar-wise. We can't give you that answer.
But I can give you...
So do you support Turing complete execution? Like, for example, how do you prevent infinite loops if there is no gas cost per execution?
So we have something called zkSNARKs, which is zero knowledge execution, that on system inherently it prevents the Turing. It provides a Turing complete system.
But it can be infinite because it can be infinite compute because the computation is running on your device, on your laptop, on your phone. It's not, that's the power of zero knowledge execution and it happening off chain. The compute doesn't happen on the node, on the validator, and that's very expensive from Ethereum side, that every validator, every node has to run the same compute, and then they come into consensus and agree, and then they change the state on chain. All that happens here is the compute happens off chain on your device. When that's done, if it takes 5 years, 10 years, whatever, then you send the proof to the node will then verify the zero knowledge proof, and they will then reach consensus and submit that in that block. So in that sense, it has an edge on Ethereum because you're not limited by your how long your compute takes or the size of compute.
Later. I mean, this is a very detailed question. Maybe later. Or
there's another presentation and then there's another Q&A.
so, I mean, is there a comment to this answer? So, so my concern is that if you want to execute the proof, like the proving is very expensive. So, do you really execute the proving on the client side or on the prover?
Most happens client side. You can choose to delegate to. By default, it happens client side on the device. For certain, if you're running machine learning, like zkML was on the board. That's zero knowledge machine learning. It's very computationally expensive. If you want that to happen fast, you delegate it to some GPUs in the cloud, and that's how you get fast proving. But for most things like transferring, just a private transfer of tokens, like I want to send you 5 tokens, it can happen very fast, 20 seconds, even a few seconds. Yeah.
It's just providing an option. You either use privacy or you either delegate your privacy. It's providing an option, providing a choice to the user. It's you who's going to choose at the end of the day. The choice is what the current system does not provide. And we in blockchain try to provide choice. So moving on to the next presentation, which is Avail. So Avail is a project that is funded by Aleo. We are in grant with Aleo and we are building a self-custodial wallet upon Aleo. So more about Avail by Julian.
All right, thank you. Avail is the first open source private self-custodial wallet. Avail gives you the keys to your wallet, not a bank. Only you will have the keys, and you will have them in private, which you won't have with Ethereum. Yeah. Here is a very simple kind of diagram where we are positioned when you compare us to centralized whatever institutions. You have like FTX and Binance here because they are public and centralized. You have Phantom and MetaMask. Wallets like Phantom and MetaMask, you can, as I said in the very beginning, you can grab the wallet, put it in a wallet explorer, and see all the transactions that the person has done throughout the history of that wallet, which I think is a bit ridiculous. And then you have Avail up there. Avail is private, so your transactions cannot be seen by anyone, and it is decentralized, which I like a lot. All right. This is just a quick visual explaining kind of our features. Of course, we are still in testnet, so you can't use real money right now, but you'll be able to in around a month. This is you. This is Avail, and Avail will connect you to the private wallet. You will have quasi-instant transfers, and you will be able to do seamless agreements. What does this mean? Avail will combine smart contracts and legally binding documents to create seamless agreements, which means I can do a contract with Bala if like we're renting a property to each other, and I can have the payments done on the app itself, which is a very great feature that we'll be introducing shortly. As you can see, smart contracts with legally binding documents. Our pointer system is what helps us make very fast transactions. We're actually the fastest wallet on the Aleo blockchain. We do this by sending an encrypted message that shows the other person where the data point where it is in the system. And the private wallet is because we are built on Aleo, and Aleo bakes zero-knowledge proofs inside its system. So after this presentation, hopefully we'll have Avail on your Apple Vision Pro, because you love it so much. You can clap. Yeah. And you can check out our socials. And if you have any questions about Avail, go ahead.